Never disappoint Mrs. Valeria. There's a story behind that. This is your daily message from Chad number 745 to upgrade your mental game today by telling yourself a better story. Because the most important story you hear is the story you tell yourself. And this message is dedicated to Josh Austell on his birthday. Happy birthday, Josh. He built a $40 billion chocolate empire, but he did it all for one person, Mrs. Valeria. Michael Ferrero was born in northern Italy in 1925. This location would play a big part in his eventual success because the area was known for its hazelnut trees. He was the only son of Pietro Ferrero, a chocolatier and bakery owner. World War II made chocolate a luxury. Ferrero found adding hazelnuts, which were in abundant supply, to chocolate and a little bit of vegetable oil made for a delicious comfort food. This is how Nutella was born in the beginning of the Ferrero chocolate empire. But Ferrero saw himself as an inventor first and foremost. He was a confectionery creator. Besides Nutella, Mon Cherie, Kinder Chocolate, Ferrero Rocher bonbons, Tic Tacs, and Kinder Eggs were all brands developed and marketed by Michael. Even after turning over the reins of the company to his son Pietro, he had a lab built in his house where he continued to experiment until his death in 2015 at the age of 89. His blatant obsession with chocolate was clear in his proposal to his wife at the age of 37. He wrote her stating, quote, "I would be extremely happy if you said yes to my proposal to marry you, but think it over carefully. And mind you, if you accept, you will be marrying a man who will always talk to you about chocolate," end quote. However, with all his creations, it was not his wife he had in mind to please. It was Mrs. Valeria. Ferrero explained his philosophy like this, quote, "Mrs. Valeria is sacred. You have to study her thoroughly, carefully, and never improvise," end quote. Every product, every package, every commercial was designed to please her. If Mrs. Valeria approved, then the product would be a success. Otherwise, it would start all over again. He said, quote, "My secret? Always do things differently from others, have faith, hold on, and put Mrs. Valeria at the center every day," end quote. Ferrero would constantly speak of pleasing Signora Valeria. It was as if the whole company worked to please one person. In Ferrero's mind, this was the case. He said, quote, "Mrs. Valeria is the mistress of it all. She is the CEO. She is the one who can decide your success or demise, the one you have to respect, never betray, and understand completely," end quote. So who was Mrs. Valeria? She never existed, at least not as a physical person. She was an imaginary character that Michael Ferrero made up. She was the ideal customer. Ferrero knew she was who he really worked for. The better story to tell yourself is you have to serve somebody. If you don't know who you're working for, you have no one to aim at pleasing. You can create this persona for yourself, not just for your business. Brian Johnson created an alter ego named Optimus, which is Latin for best. This persona is the best version of himself. It's the mythical angel on his shoulder he wants to please. So who is your Mrs. Valeria? Who are you aiming to please? Who are you seeking the approval of today? Tell me your story of an imaginary scenario you've created to bring out the best in yourself. Email me at fromchadsmith@gmail.com. The transcript of this message and hundreds of others are always available at fromchad.com.